Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca Charles, a 32-year-old marketing executive in Boston. But my story doesn't begin with my current position. It begins 6 years ago during another late-night shift at the diner. Sophia leaned against the counter, watching me count my tips. Bills don't pay themselves, and men's school isn't cheap, I said, half joking. But David was worth it. Back then, I was juggling two jobs. Junior marketing associate by day, waitress by night. While other couples planned honeymoons, I was busy stretching every dollar to help David get through medical school. "You're too good for him, Rebecca," Sophia muttered one night. She had been my rock since college. "I see how his mother treats you." "Barbara's just protective," I replied, though I knew Sophia was right. At Sunday dinner the day before, Barbara had looked me dead in the eye and asked David, "Are you sure about settling down with someone from such modest means?" Sophia's jaw dropped when I told her. "What did David say?" He laughed it off like always. Told her, "Mom, Rebecca's brilliant at managing our finances." Fast forward 6 years and David is now a rising star surgeon at Massachusetts General. On the surface, our life is picture perfect, Instagram-worthy even. A colonial house in one of Boston's best neighborhoods. Charity galas, medical conferences in exotic locations. But lately something feels off. Dr. Peters mentioned you looked tired at the staff meeting, Sophia says one morning as we grab coffee in the hospital cafeteria. Michael's observant, I reply, sighing. David has been coming home later and later. Last night, it was 2 a.m. Surgery ran long, he told me. But this morning, when I went to use his iPad, the password was changed. Just then, Vanessa Taylor, the new hospital administrator, walks by. She's tall, blonde, and polished, exactly the kind of woman Barbara always wanted for David. "Good morning, Rebecca," she says. "Is David ready for his big promotion announcement next week?" I freeze. Promotion? He hasn't mentioned anything. Vanessa looks surprised. "Oh, I assumed. Never mind." Later that evening, I'm in the kitchen preparing dinner when David's phone buzzes on the counter. A text preview pops up. "Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Don't forget our." The screen goes dark before I can read more. David snatches his phone quickly. "Just hospital stuff," he mutters. "Why didn't you tell me about the promotion?" I ask. "Who told you?" "It was supposed to be a surprise." He sounds more annoyed than excited. "Your staff meeting is next week, right?" "Yes." "Look, I'm exhausted. Can we talk about this later?" He heads upstairs without touching the dinner I made. I sit at the kitchen island, replaying everything. The mysterious calls, the changed passwords, the late nights. Sophia's voice echoes in my mind. "Trust your gut, Rebecca. Something's not adding up." The night of David's promotion party, I spend hours getting ready. I slip into a red silk dress that makes me feel invincible and tuck the plans for a surprise weekend getaway. A romantic cabin in Vermont, into my clutch. I want to celebrate his success, even if I have my doubts. At the hospital's grand ballroom entrance, Dr. Peters greets me warmly. "Rebecca, you look absolutely stunning." "Thank you," I say with a smile. "Have you seen David?" I haven't been able to reach him all day. "He's by the bar." "Third scotch, I believe," Dr. Peters says quietly. I spot David across the room, tugging nervously at his collar. When I approach, he barely meets my eyes. "Sweetheart, is everything okay?" I ask. "Fine, just fine." He downs his drink and signals for another. Before I can press further, Barbara swoops in, champagne in hand. "Rebecca, dear, that dress is a bit ambitious for your figure, don't you think?" I don't get the chance to respond. The hospital director taps his glass. "Ladies and gentlemen, a few words from our newly appointed chief of cardiology, Dr. David Charles." David stumbles slightly as he takes the microphone. My stomach knots. Something's wrong. "Thank you everyone for coming tonight," he begins, his voice unsteady. "I want to thank my colleagues, especially Vanessa, who has been instrumental in my success." Vanessa beams from the front row. My eyes catch the glint of the emerald pendant she's wearing, the same one I saw in David's browser history last week. I'd assumed it was my anniversary gift. And of course, David continues, his tone growing stranger. "I must thank my soon-to-be ex-wife, Rebecca, for her years of support." The room goes deathly silent. My champagne glass slips from my hand, shattering against the marble floor. "What did you just say?" I whisper, my voice barely audible over the pounding in my ears. I filed the papers this morning, he says bluntly. Vanessa and we've been together for 8 months. Vanessa steps forward, sliding her arm around his. We didn't mean for it to happen, she says, as if that makes it better. The room begins to spin. I barely register Barbara's smug voice cutting through the chaos. Well, dear, did you really think someone of David's caliber would stay with a waitress forever? I've known about them since Christmas. Before I can respond, Sophia appears out of nowhere, her voice razor sharp. You smug, cheating bastard. After everything she sacrificed for you? I'm vaguely aware of Michael's steady hand on my elbow, guiding me toward the exit. Let me drive you home, Rebecca. I can't go home, I whisper, my voice trembling. He changed all the locks this morning, and my cards were declined at lunch. He what? Sophia hisses, pulling out her phone. After a few taps, she looks up, furious. That son of a, Rebecca, he cleaned out your joint account at 9 a.m. every single penny. Come on, Michael says gently. You can stay at my guest house tonight. Tomorrow we'll find you the best lawyer in Boston. Sophia hugs me fiercely. This isn't over, Rebecca. He has no idea who he just messed with. The next morning, Sophia slides her laptop across Michael's kitchen table, where I've been staying for the past week. Look at this, she says, pulling up patient records. 3 unnecessary valve replacements last month alone. I squint at the screen. How did you get access to these? Let's just say someone in records owes me a favor. Her tone is sharp, fueled by anger. But that's not all. Check the insurance payouts. My marketing brain kicks in, analyzing the numbers. These amounts are insane, and they're all processed through the same insurance liaison. Vanessa, Sophia says, her voice dripping with disgust. She fast-tracks his surgeries, handles the paperwork, and probably gets a cut. My phone buzzes, a new message from Barbara in the family group chat. Such a shame about Rebecca's condition. David so wanted children. Sophia reads it over my shoulder, her face twisting in rage. That evil witch. Everyone knows you chose to wait on kids so you could put him through med school. Before I can reply, Michael walks in holding a stack of papers. Rebecca, remember when you mentioned David's laptop acting weird? My friend found something interesting. He sets the papers down in front of me, multiple transfers to accounts in the Cayman Islands. My hands tremble as I scan the documents. The dates match every time David accused me of overspending. Rebecca, how could you blow through $5,000 this month? Meanwhile, he'd been siphonning 10 times that amount offshore. Classic gaslighting, Sophia mutters, making you doubt your own financial responsibility while he's the one committing fraud. I hear David's voice in my head. Maybe you should let me handle the money, honey. You seem overwhelmed. Not anymore. My phone rings. It's Vanessa. I answer on speaker. Rebecca, Dave is worried about you. If you could just sign the divorce papers. I let my voice crack. I just need more time. Everything's so confusing. After hanging up, I glance at Sophia, who's giving me a slow clap. Oscar-worthy performance, she says with a smirk. Let them think I'm falling apart, I reply, pulling out my laptop and opening a folder labeled Evidence. Inside is everything. Falsified records, offshore transfers, nasty texts from Barbara, and detailed documentation of every dollar I sacrificed for David's education. I learned from the best manipulators, I say, forwarding copies to my new lawyer. David taught me to keep receipts. Barbara taught me to play the long game. And Vanessa? She taught me that sometimes the best revenge is letting people dig their own graves. Sophia squeezes my hand. The hospital board meets next week. You'll be ready. I close my laptop with a snap. But first, I need to make a call to the insurance company's fraud department. Anonymously, of course. Michael leans against the doorframe, arms crossed. The mighty fall the hardest. I lift my glass of wine. They sure do. As I sip, I remember David's smug words at countless dinner parties. My wife's just not good with numbers. If only he knew how good I was at adding up evidence. The following week, I sit in the back of the hospital boardroom, watching chaos unfold through the glass walls. 2 FBI agents stand by the door as Michael, now chief of surgery, presents my anonymous evidence. Multiple counts of insurance fraud. Falsified medical records. Unnecessary surgeries performed for profit. David's face turns ashen. Vanessa drops her designer handbag, papers spilling everywhere. Their eyes dart around the room, probably searching for an escape route. Dr. Charles, Miss Taylor, the board chairman says, his tone ice cold. Please surrender your hospital credentials. Later that week, Sophia bursts into my new office, holding up her phone. Have you seen the news? She asks, grinning. Prominent Boston surgeon and administrator arrested in massive healthcare fraud scheme. I'm already scrolling through my inbox. Lawyers representing David's former patients are circling like sharks. 10 lawsuits filed this morning alone. My phone buzzes. It's Barbara. Rebecca, darling, she says in her most condescending tone. Surely you can talk to David's lawyers. These rumors about my son. Rumors? I interrupt. Like the ones you spread about me being infertile? Don't worry, Barbara. I sent your country club friends proof of every nasty text and email you ever sent me. Enjoy explaining those at your next charity luncheon. I hang up before she can respond. 2 months later, I'm putting the finishing touches on my PR firm's latest campaign when Michael walks in. Vanessa took a plea deal, he says. She's testifying against David. Karma's a better attorney than I could have hired. I reply, adjusting the nameplate on my desk. Phoenix Rising PR. Rebecca Charles, CEO. David's name flashes on my phone screen. He's out on bail. Rebecca, please, he begins, desperation thick in his voice. I've lost everything. The medical board revoked my license. The hospital's insurance company is suing me. Mom had to sell her house to cover her legal fees after those society wives filed defamation suits. I know I messed up, but you're the only one who truly knows me. Knew, I correct, my voice steady. Past tense, like our marriage. Please, Rebecca, he pleads. We could start over. I hang up mid-sentence, turning to see Sophia and Michael in my doorway with champagne. Businesswoman of the Year should arrive fashionably late, Sophia quips. Later that night, I stand at the podium, the soft glow of the spotlight reflecting off my red silk dress. Far more expensive than the one I wore to David's promotion party. Success isn't about revenge, I tell the crowd. It's about rising from the ashes of betrayal stronger than before. The next morning, the paper sits on my desk. Former surgeon faces 20 years for healthcare fraud. Below it, a smaller headline reads, Society matron Barbara Charles holds estate sale. Everything must go. Sophia picks up the paper, shaking her head. Not a bad ending. No, I reply, watching Michael arrange congratulatory flowers on my desk. It's a pretty good beginning. Across town, my new billboard goes up. Phoenix Rising PR. Helping you soar above crisis. Sometimes the best revenge isn't plotting elaborate schemes. Sometimes it's simply living your best life while karma handles the rest. And karma, she's got a flawless track record. So tell me, what would you have done? Would you expose everything immediately, or would you quietly gather evidence like I did? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear.